Hello folks, it's Eamon McAuley here, back again. Uh, Belfast boxing historian, ex-professional fighter. Back with another wee chat about boxing. Uh, Today I'm going to talk about the 10 fights where I had to bite hard on my gum shield. That means show a bit of grit, a bit of spirit, and a lot of heart. In no particular order, Nigel Crook, Carl Crook's brother. I boxed Nigel in the 1983 NABC regional round, East Lancashire, Cheshire, and I didn't think there was anybody in my class. And this guy, Nigel Crook, I'd never heard of, so I thought it was a handy one. And in the first round, he gave me a bit of a beating. My eye was half closed, and he really shocked me and surprised me. But as I say, I had to bite hard on my gum shield and show some grit. And I came out in the second round, got back into the fight, and in the third round, I hammered him all around the ring. But I still only won on a majority decision. And what I remember is Nigel was a bit surly. I went into the dressing room, as I nearly always did, to speak to my opponent, to get to know my opponent. And he didn't really want to know. He was in a bad mood. Maybe he thought he won. Maybe he thought he was robbed. I don't think so. I deserved a lot of credit for coming back from that bad beating in the first round, and thoroughly deserved a decision. Ben McGarrigle, I fought Ben in Strabane, and it was a heck of a fight. Probably the hardest, most exciting fight I was ever in. And that includes the fight with Carl Crook. First round, I come out, bang, hit him a left hook. Within the first 10 seconds, he was on the canvas. And hammered him all around the ring. Was on the verge of giving him a second standing count when he put me down. And I was only ever down twice in my amateur and professional career. And I was hurt. But I got up, showed a bit of grit, bit of heart, and he came in and he hit me another right hand, and I was very nearly going down again. The fight's on film, you can view it in YouTube, and you can't really notice it, but I know I was really hurt, and I had to show a lot of grit, bite down hard on my gum shield, show a lot of spirit to come through that fight. And it was one round of absolute mayhem. As I said before, I think it's an even better round than Hagler and Hearns. And I came back and stopped Ben in the first round and put him in the hospital. He had to go to the hospital, so he told me, for stomach pains. So I really had to show some heart, some grit in that fight. Danny Cooper. I boxed Danny Cooper in Southampton. And once again, being a wee bit arrogant, I never heard of him. The fact that I never heard of him made me very confident. Ada says, well, if he's any good, I would have heard of him. In the first round, again, he shocked me, took me by surprise, hammered me, hurt me. Once again, my eye was closed, but I showed grit, I showed heart, a bit hard on my gum shield. And I come back once again to win the second round, and I knocked him down in the third round to seal a majority decision. So if I hadn't knocked him down in the third round, I would have lost. But as I say, I showed a lot of heart. I really wanted that win. And less than 2 hours later, I had to box again against a multi-titled and very talented Paul Day, who I knocked out in the third round of an absolute war. So yes, Danny Cooper, I had to bite down hard on my gum shield. And Danny turned pro. I think his brother was a good pro too. So Carl Crook, coming up to the 40th anniversary of my fight with Carl Crook at Wembley Arena, ABA Finals. What a fight that was. Once again, it's on YouTube. First round was a real quiet round, a feeling out round. And the second round, all hell broke loose. I give Carl standing count, hit him a clean right hand, knocked his gumshield out. They brought him to the corner to give him time to recover. 20 seconds had passed before we could box on, and I was on him like a harbour shark. And I was on the verge of giving him another standing count when he hit me a cracking left hook, which buzzed me. I wasn't seriously hurt, but I was definitely buzzed. And the referee gave me a standing 8 count as I stirred a crook, as if to say, I'm going to get back this momentum. You haven't hurt me. I'm going to come back. So I rushed in, and Carl was a sharpshooter, and I made mistakes, and he made me pay for them. And I looked a wee bit novice-y, and I loaded up in a left hook, a Hail Mary of a left hook, and both my feet left the canvas. And he tapped me with a right hand, and I stumbled, but I wasn't hurt. Definitely, it didn't buzz me, it was just a light right hand, and Carl wasn't a big puncher. And I didn't feel his power. But the referee jumped in to give me a second standing count, and I was furious. And I went to lean back in the ropes, protesting that I wasn't hurt, and I near misjudged the ropes. How embarrassing that could have been. But as Carl came in to finish it, I loaded up in the right hand and landed on his nose, breaking his nose in 3 places. And yep, once again, I had to bite down hard on my gumshield, show a lot of heart and show a lot of grit. And it was a great fight. Brendan Connolly from Oldham, regional round of the 1983 ABAs. Brendan, big tall lanky lad, who had fought earlier in the evening, pushed me really, really hard. I thought to myself, he must be hard. He must be tired because he boxed earlier. I'm going to keep pushing and keep pressing and keep getting into him. But I was loading up my punches. It was wild, and it was a scrappy sort of fight. I wasn't over impressive. But in the third round, I landed a great left hook. It was a wonderful knockout. And as I say, once again, I had to bite down hard on my gumshield. But I came through in the end. Sean Spike McCormick. Boxed Sean twice. I boxed him in the GAA in 1982. And Sean Spike McCormick was a very gifted southpaw and a precocious talent. And in the first 2 rounds, I was wild again. Southpaw, awkward, loading up my punches, looking for the big one. And getting into the 3rd round, he was behind in points. But I pulled it out, pulled a right hand out and knocked him down the last round to seal a majority decision. But I wasn't happy with my performance. So I asked my coach Eamon McAuley, get me a rematch with him. I want to fight him again. And I fought him again, and I beat him easier, and I boxed much better. But what happened was, during the fight, both of us fell out of the ring. And as we were climbing up to get back into the ring, he said something funny to me. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't last one up's a sissy. So sadly, Sean's passed now. God rest his soul. Another fight where I had to show a lot of grit and heart and determination and spirit was when I boxed Michael McAllister, the reigning Irish champion at my age and my weight, in 1981 in the GAA. And I knocked him out in the 3rd round. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if I was behind or if I was in front, but I knocked him out. I do remember the knockout. I've got some photos of it. And it was a great win, but once again, I had to show a lot of heart and a lot of grit and a lot of spirit. Sadly, Michael McAllister's passed also. God rest his soul. Then I boxed my 3rd fight in London. When I went down to London, my 3rd fight, it was for a London under-19 select against the Northwest Counties under-19 select. And initially, I was to box Neil Foran. Me and Neil had boxed twice, and it was 1 win apiece. So I was really delighted to get the chance of a rubber match with Neil, because he beat me in the Henry Cooper's Golden Belt and I wasn't at my best. And I was pretty determined that I was going to beat him this time. I was very confident that I was going to beat him this time. But he pulled out at the last minute. And this guy called C. O'Brien, whatever C stands for, Colin, Greg, Chris, whatever it is, sorry, Greg's G, Chris, Colin, whatever it was, he gave me a hell of a fight. Oh my goodness, he gave me a hell of a fight. I didn't know him. Once again, my arrogance, the fact that I didn't know him, gave me a lot of confidence. I said to myself, well, if he's good, I know of him. I'll have heard of him. So I boxed him and I beat him on a unanimous decision. But I had to grit my teeth. I had to bite down hard on my gum shield because he was a very good fighter. And he pushed me all the way. There were 3 very hard rounds, very close rounds. And whatever happened to him, I don't know. I thought he was going to really come to the fore, but I never heard of him again. He must have packed it in, I don't know, but a precocious talent and such a hard fight. Russell Davison, boxed him as a professional. I think it was my 9th or 10th pro fight. And I boxed him in the Ulster Hall. My first fight in Belfast after 4 years. And under a lot of pressure, and basically I won the first 3 rounds handy enough, but in the 4th he had a good 4th round and I went through a wee bit of a sticky patch, but I came back in the 5th and the 6th. I finished well, but it was a good fight and I won clearly. But as I say, I just had to bite down hard in my gum shield again. Sticky wee patch in the 4th round, but I came through it. Number 10, I boxed twice in one night in the ABA prelims in 1985. My first fight was against a very tough kid called Dave Murphy. I beat him clearly. I gave him 4 standing accounts along the way. And I tried my best to knock him out, but I remember he was very aggressive and he was trying to push me back on the back foot. But I was loading up my punches. It was a bit wild and I wasn't happy with my performance. But I have to give that lad credit. He was very tough. As I say, during the fight he would smile at me when I landed. I had to get myself ready for my next fight, which was in less than 2 hours, against a guy called Bob Jenkins. He was a big, tall, lanky lad. And so I lay down on the floor, had a coat over me, tried to get a bit of rest. And he had already seen me box. He knew what he was up against. So I boxed him anyway. I boxed much better. I beat him clearly, gave him a standing count, and was delighted with my performance. But once again, it was a case of biting down hard on the gum shield, showing heart, showing determination, showing spirit. Yeah. So, just to finish, don't underestimate Lewis Crocker against Paddy Donovan. I think he'll give a much better, closer fight this time. And don't forget, he's a Belfast lad. I'm a Belfast lad. Support our own. Get behind him. He's one of our own. Start getting away from that lemon us nonsense. I wish him well. And I'd like to see Sean McComb back in the ring. It's coming up to a year since he last fought. That wonderful performance where he was robbed against 32-0 Arnold Barbosa Jr. So, as I say, he's a great talent, a precocious talent. Sean, get your ass back into the ring again, mate. All the best, everybody. Thanks very much for listening to me. Take care and God bless, and hopefully I'll see you soon with another talk.